This is Return of the Obra Dinn. If you haven't played this game, stop watching this video. I'm about halfway through the game, I think, and I need some help, so this is me asking for help. Um, I've been playing for 10 hours. I've solved 27 fates, and I think I've seen most of the scenes, but I need some help. It's already raining. My friend here is starting getting impatient. So let's try and go in order. So here I have identified this guy and okay, so this one doesn't get identified. Then for this part, I've identified the two guys, and I know that in this scene there's a lot to gather, so let's go find this guy. He's here on the third floor. So this guy, right? No, this guy. So from here I know that we can look at the numbers, they are important. I've identified this guy as well. Then I know the guys who are playing here are, I think they're all Russians, but I have not identified most of them. I know about this one from later. I don't know who this guy is, and I'm not sure who this guy is. Now, I've also seen here this guy who has a tattoo of a lady, but I haven't been able to find him anywhere. But I know that he'll be number 37 when I do. So let's see. So we're fine so far with this one. Let me jump to the next chapter. So part 3, the murder. I know I've seen how the musician was murdered by the second mate, and then they blamed this guy, and I've been able to identify who shot him. Uh, this guy, I don't know who he is. It looks like it's someone that's not easy to identify yet, uh, but I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find more about him. Yeah, so that's a guy that we can only kind of see his foot hanging from here.
On your toes.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. I know who shot him. I know who that is.
Over the boats! The whole crew will be on us! Give it up!
But I'm not sure. I mean, he's probably with her, right? I know already that she's Miss Lim, so he's probably a friend of Miss Lim, but I have no idea. Now the calling. This one's interesting. This one I went through all the scenes in order and even made some drawings here. So there's different parts of the calling. At the beginning we have here Mr. Big Ears. He dies in scene 3. Then we have Birdie, that he disappears between scenes 2 and 3. We have Baldy, that gets killed in scene 1, and the Chinese guy who is pretty easily identified as Beng Xia, who's killed in scene 5. On the other boat, we have Nichols here, and then we have Gunners A and B. And Gunner A disappears between 3 and 4, and Gunner B gets killed in scene 2, I think, by a mermaid. And I was able to identify him as O'Hagan, I believe. Let's see. And the lady in the front is very quickly identified as Miss Lim. Let's go to the scene actually. So even if you would find these scenes uh, from the end to the beginning, I'm recording this in order for the video.
Aye, sir. Checked and loaded them myself.
Good. Stay quiet and alert. If the wind picks thinks up we've no chance against the Obra Dinn.
小姐，你稳住无？
我无问题，但是伊来想我，绝对袂当互伊落在水底。
若是遐个怪物出现，你绝对卖起来。
Shut it up!
So these are my two boats, and how I do them here. So the first one to die is Baldy here, and I think I know who he is. Oh no, the game tells me that I have... Oh, I should be able to identify it, but it's not easy, so yeah, I don't know who he is. He is speared by the mermaid here, and then Bengsha, he's tied up here, and he uses that opportunity to escape. And then at some point, this guy's next. This guy, I don't know who he is. But let's go to the next scene. Maybe it will help me to actually record this video, because I'm pausing and going to different scenes, but in order. So this guy, I don't know who he is. He dies. This guy, I know it doesn't have that big of an ear, but in the scene here, I feel like he has very big ears, so that's why I might notice like big ears. Nothing's happening on this side yet, so let's go to part 2. So what's next?
Keep
This
rowing!
伊要
we
过来啊！
are from the other
Where
side.
is it? There! Something there!
I see it!
Give us a weapon! 小姐，卖起来！
So this guy's killed. He's one of the gunners. Yeah, I've identified him as O'Hagan because of another scene very later. I don't know who this guy is yet. So this guy was killed, and Bengsha is getting himself free. And now this guy is getting pulled. Do I know who this guy is? No, I don't know who this guy is. This guy's getting pulled by the mermaid. We don't actually see him die, but it's very obvious that he's drowned by the beast. And then he drops his knife. Right there, there's his knife. So let's go to part 3.
You're still breathing? Can you roll?
So they're calling O'Hagan there, but oh yeah, that's how I identify it. So someone's asking if O'Hagan is still breathing, and this guy was just killed in part 2. So if they're asking if he's breathing, he's probably because he's already dead. So that's how I identified this guy as O'Hagan. Then this guy's gone. Oh no, we're in 3. We're in 3. So this guy is about to fall. This guy's just dead. He's O'Hagan. Now they're already starting to kill Miss Lim, but she doesn't die until the next part. And then here, Bengsha has already got free, and he grabbed the knife, and he's going for our guy here. So we don't exactly see what's happening, but we know he grabbed the knife from over here. So that's how I know that this guy was knifed by Bengsha, but I don't know who he is, and it looks like I should already be able to know who he is. So he's getting knifed right now, and O'Hagan just died. And then in the next part we'll see Miss Lim actually die, but she's already been clawed by now. So let's go to part, what's it? Let's go to part 4. So Miss Lim is finally dying. Gunner A is gone. This guy's left, this guy's dead, this guy's dead, this guy's dead. So Bengsha killed the guy that was like guarding the coffin here and pushed him over here. And And yeah, there was another guy here. Who was there? Oh, the first one. The first one. See? Yeah, so this is number one. And Bengsha and Birdie and Big Ears is probably under the sea. Or is he? Whoops, I didn't want to go there. Okay, so I stopped the recording and going back to part 4. So yeah, and this guy's just hiding here. All these guys are dead. And apparently he's doing something that causes the mermaids to die, but by doing so he gets hurt. So in the next scene we see him die, and I noted down burned, and the game accepted that, so let's go see that. So he's here, he's burning. He did something that killed the mermaid, but he's dead. And the guy who was hiding over here has already pulled the boats together, and you know he's pulling the mermaids together. I mean to the boats, and everyone's dead except him that he was hiding all this time. I don't think I know who he is yet. It looks like a second mate or something, but I don't know who he is. Oh yeah, I already know who he is. Yeah, because I've identified it from somewhere else. So yeah, he's Edward Nichols, and he will get shot later when he comes back. And I can't remember how I found out who was shooting him, but yeah, he gets shot later when they come back. So I already knew about him. But so the only one who I don't know who he is okay. So there's 3 persons. There's this guy, which I think he's Russian. And I think this first guy here understands Chinese, because when these 2 guys are talking at first, he understands that they're talking about some monsters or something. And yeah, I wrote down here that someone here is Russian, and I think it's this guy, Big Ears guy, and he does say Nichols, sir. So he talks to Nichols as his superior. And this is about, yeah, how people fell down in between scenes. So that's what I know about the calling. Gonna go to the next chapter. Oh yeah, in part 6, Edward Nichols gets shot. I've seen this, but I don't know who these guys are. So unholy captives, this is also very interesting. Okay, so I've identified this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I've identified a cook by some other scene. This one, I think it was a process of elimination, I can't remember. William. This guy here. What's this scene? Oh, it's the guy from the food. Yeah, I'm so confused by this one. I was actually trying to find some tips on the subreddit, and I stumbled upon a walkthrough or something that made it seem like it was really clear what was happening here, but I still don't understand. So this guy, we only find his foot over here. But I tried to follow like the trail of blood, and I can't get to exactly where the foot is, you know, at the time of his death.
Madness is this. 20 years my steward, and never a doubt of your sanity. Explain yourself. Those ungodly beasts carrying a curse. Throw them back or doom us all.
So I think this is a guy.
Put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses.
All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Here's the rest of the day.
So I suspect that the captain cut his leg because of the blood here, but I'm not sure about that. They talk about him being crazy, but I have no background. I don't know where he was before. Of course, one of these guys is the doctor, one of the other guys is the doctor's helper. So this guy, let me see. This guy is the surgeon's mate, and this guy is the surgeon. No, not this one. This guy is the surgeon. Someone cut his feet. I am not able to reach to the point where his foot was. And on the previous scenes are all above on the like they're going downstairs on the carrying the other bodies, I think. So there's nothing that I can put together about what happened to him, why they cut his foot. We hear someone else calling, "Hey, those monsters are dangerous! Put them away! Your doom is all." And I think that's this guy. But I already know this guy. So Philadelphia. But is it confirmed? No, it's not. Is it confirmed? I don't know if it's confirmed yet. No, it's not confirmed yet. So okay. So the Swedish. So there's a reason I marked this guy, but because of the country, but it wasn't from this scene. At some other point, I marked him. I don't know who this guy is. This guy's a first mate. This guy's a captain, and this guy's a bosun. Though I think I'm also having problems with him. But yeah, I'm totally lost on this. Again, I appreciate not the solution, but just a hint or something on, where should I look? Like I've noticed there's small things like noticing the knife that was dropped in the boat or something, like those little things that can get me to understand what happened here. So next is Sorcerers of the Sea. So we just had several casualties because of the shells of the mermaid that they were carrying down, and now the spiders come. The spider things come. So this guy gets electrocuted. I have no idea who he is. This one, he was spiked. I can't remember how I was able to identify him. Probably because of some other scene. Then the carpenter was in the previous scenes where when they're carrying down the mermaids, I think you can see the carpenter and his mate doing carpenter things. So I just tried one or the other and until it worked. And then I don't know who this is. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then this guy dies. I already know who that is. Oh, he burns himself with the monster. And then the butcher is the last one. He's backed with a wall or something. And this guy was outside or something, and the spike got through him. And then the carpenter is one of the last ones to die here. And that's it for that chapter. I don't remember having a lot to go through or any special confusion about it. It's just I think I don't have enough information yet. The Doom. I've kind of identified this guy, but it still hasn't confirmed it. Oh yeah. Because this is it was very hard for me to find this first scene. Like I didn't notice that door had opened. This is these two, this part 1 and part 2. I hadn't noticed that this door had opened. Let's go see this scene and try to talk about it. So I think it's after you find that a door opened where you find the corpse of the artist, that he was in the bathroom basically, and then which is part 2 of the chapter, then you discover this guy, who's part 1.
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody Dane. Huh? How's that?
There's no cause for trouble, boys. Get in the boat.
Thought I'd forget. You killed my brother. What? That was an accident. The robes.
It wasn't his fault. I saw the whole thing.
Lies. I shouldn't have waited so long.
No, don't.
Okay, so this guy is avenging his brother, the one who died in chapter 1. So we know this guy and the guy from chapter 1 were brothers, and I think I just tried one or the other and I got lucky the first one, and then he calls this one Dane, so that's how we know this guy must be Danish, and I just tried whoever's from Denmark, and that's it. And he gets killed by Samuel Peters because we got this Peters and somewhere the guy who died at the first one was the other Peters, Nathan Peters. So this one's Samuel Peters. So I'm pretty sure I'm right, even though the game hasn't confirmed it yet. And this one is Samuel Peters. Wait, Nathan Peters. Oh, that's why it hasn't confirmed? Nathan Peters. Because the other, yeah, I got the other one right. Okay. So this is Nathan Peters. And this guy was present in the first scene, but I have no idea who he is. And I don't think anything else is happening. Let me check if I already got the other one. So let's go to, because I didn't have it right here. So Nathan Peters and Samuel Peters. So Samuel's the one that got killed in the first scene. So this guy is Nathan. Do I have it right? This one's Nathan, and this one was called by Nathan. Okay, so this is like not related to a lot of the story. Oh, there's another guy here. He looks like the artist. Who's this guy? He's carrying something. Should I be able to know who he is? Yeah, I should be able to know who he is. He's carrying something. I don't know what's that he's carrying. Okay, and nothing else happening here. Let's go to part 2. So for this part of the chapter, it took me forever to notice that this door had opened. I think I did search in the subreddit and found someone that had the same question, and they got it here. So this is the artist. He was just doing his own business, and the Kraken started coming and killing everyone. So I already got him identified. He's the artist. Strangled by the beast. I don't think anything else is happening here. Someone else is coming. I don't know who this guy is. Oh, I already know. First mate Stewart. Okay, because later, I still haven't figured this guy out, but he's called out at some point. And then there's these guys drinking. Like when scenes are this big that they let me explore so much, that makes me think that yeah, I should be paying attention to all these extra details. Okay, who are these guys? This guy is... It looks like he's got food. Do I know this guy? No. And oh, this guy appears everywhere, and I'm not sure he's Martin. We're gonna go talk about him later, because I just recently figured out that one of the first things in the game that you are able to do is probably identify him, but I'm not so sure. But we'll talk about him later. But he's always everywhere. These guys, who are these guys? Yeah, people will fight later with the cannons. I can't go downstairs. Yeah, nothing else is happening over here. Numbers, but no one's lying down here. I guess these two guys are from this hammock? Like maybe this guy is number 41? It would make sense, right? Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's say this guy is number 41. Whaley. Yeah, he looks like a Whaley. And does this hammock have a number? I mean, not here, but in some other scene I'd be able to. There's someone sleeping here. This 45. Yeah, I'm gonna assume this is correct. And these guys are just sleeping. Oh, there's a sword here. That's important. This guy has a sword. Number 36 has a sword. And then there's people sleeping on this side as well. Number 43 and number 44. But I can't look at them, so I can't identify them. Okay, let's go to part 3 of this chapter. So part 3 of this chapter is when they start loading the cannons and explosions happen and people die because of the Kraken. I don't think there's a lot I can analyze here yet. I have identified this guy, not by this scene, but by someplace later or earlier. I have this guy. I don't know who this guy is. It's when they blow up themselves. Yeah, it's very messy scene. This guy gets crushed by the cannon, but I don't know who he is. I mean, there's barely any dialogue here, right? Sir, they're calling Sir, but I mean, I could identify maybe the closest mate or captain here, but I have no idea. And this guy, he gets exploded. I don't know who he is. And then this guy, I spoiled myself by learning that the nationality was important, and then I later saw that maybe I could have been able to identify him some other way later. And then, okay, so this one's interesting. So this is, you know, the captain's wife. It's one of the first deaths you'll find in the game. Let's go there. When the game starts, you find her here. So she's very easy to identify, but what I want to talk about here is that she calls out for Martin. And then I'm not sure this is important. Yeah, so if she's the captain wife and she's calling out for someone by their first name, it's probably someone important, someone close to them. So it has to be like one of the top officers, right? So there are several people here that it's possible she was calling for someone, but the fact that it's by his first name makes me think it's like the highest ranked officer I can see, and I think it's this guy, and I think this guy is Martin, which would be makes sense as the third mate. I don't think like the people who are like this guy here. He looks like a seaman. He doesn't look like a third mate, so I'm pretty sure this guy should be Martin, but the game hasn't confirmed it yet. I know who this guy is, and I'm confused about this one because oh yeah, it took a while, This guy loses his arm later. Let's talk about him later, but it took a while for the game to confirm his actual cause of death. But let's talk about him later. But yeah, that's this Martin guy. I think he's Martin, but I'm not completely sure. Could be this guy. I mean, what if this guy is Martin? I don't know. He's closest, but she could be calling out for someone else. Can I walk anywhere else here? Oh, the wave doesn't let me. Huh. Funny. So this is part 8 of that chapter. Uh, might be racist, but this guy looks like a Persian guy to me. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what sticks. But I have no idea. Like he looks like Persian to me. And Nathan. Oh yeah, we were talking about the guy who kills the guy from Denmark. But I have no idea, what happened to him. Like he disappears, but I haven't noticed him in the scenes. So like yeah, I guess. I mean it's unknown. Like I can't say he drowned. He could have been crushed. He could have been anything. I don't know about him. How am I supposed to write anything about him? What? Where am I? No, 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 no. No, let's go to bargain. Oh, I don't know this yet. Okay, yeah, so let's go to escape. Now I should be able to find this, but the laser is still locked. So yeah. So this is where people start calling mutiny and stuff, and there's one specific guy that I would like your help with. So this one I know we don't see what happened to him, but he was probably pulled apart by the beast, so that's why I assumed, but we don't really know what happened to him. He does ask for his Frenchman, which I think should be a hint for something, but I don't think I have identified his Frenchman. Oops. This one, they call him Paul, so I'm assuming he's Paul, but I don't know who the guy who's killing him is. Now this is an important guy. The guy with the sword is important, but I haven't been able to figure who he is. And then he gets shot by, I think it's Emily Jackson, because I don't know. I'm just guessing that she's Emily. I can't remember if I am actually sure that she was Emily. I haven't been able to play very often. This one should be an officer of some sort. But I don't know who he is. And then he gets, like, one guy kills the other, and then the next guy gets bandaged, and then the guy gets bandaged. Now this guy has been spying on them for a while, and then he calls for mutiny. Now he is knifed by, we can see it's one of these guys, but I don't know who that guy is. Wait, is he? I think I already identified this guy. Let's go see what I can identify. So they were talking here, and there's these guys hearing them, and then he calls mutiny, mutiny, and starts running here, and he gets knifed here, but then he keeps on running and keeps on running to this place. Now this place is labeled in the map as the midshipman's quarter. And there is there are only two. I've already identified this guy, Charles, so I've only got two midshipmen missing. And I think he mentions the other guy. So let's see this scene.
Oh no, you're cut.
Don't leave me.
Bear up, son. I'll stay with you.
Tell Pete's mother
Pete.
I tried my best
Aye,
to pull him back, to save him.
you tell her yourself. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit.
And Brennan. Okay, so I know he's not Pete. Pete is the other guy. We never see Pete die, but I know he's not Pete, so that's why I think he must be Thomas, because he's the other midshipman and Pete is the other midshipman. So we've never seen Pete die, but I guess he must be Thomas. Now, another interesting thing is that this guy calls for Brennan. And I'm not gonna go through all the scenes again, but he comes running. If we go back in time, he comes running from here. And Brennan is, well, the guy who's coming with him is this guy. So that's why I figured that this guy is Brennan. And yeah, I was correct. So this guy is Brennan. And this is one of the gunners that we saw. No. Something else. So this guy I've got identified because of that, because he's coming running with this guy. And then he calls Brennan. Now, do I know who this guy is? Yeah, he's the first mate. We'll figure out later. So yeah, I'm not sure about this guy, but the game hasn't confirmed. But you know, it sounds to me logical just by the fact that he ran towards this place, and it's the midshipman's quarters. So if I was hurt, I would run towards my room, I guess. But still not sure. And then all the other myths that happens here, that one guy kills the other and everything, I'm still lost. I don't know who's who. And there's a couple people here that show up very often, but I don't. I have not sure how to identify them. I would appreciate any hints. And then these two ladies disappear. I tried to. Um, I looked at their hands, and this person has a ring, so she's probably married. So she's probably the Mrs. Jackson and not the Miss Jane Bird. Uh, but I don't know what happened to them. They're probably like, I'm gonna try and see what are the closest islands to where the place this happens, and maybe they went there, but there's not a lot to go with. And yeah, I guess this guy also boarded the boat, and I don't know who this guy is. And as for the last chapter, I think I've got everything. Oh no, not everything, because you know this guy I know, the tutorial. This one we just realized what happened. This is the guy that comes hanging from somewhere else and tries to attack the captain from behind. I don't know who he is, and the captain, and that's it. So any hints, non-spoiler hints, I'd appreciate them a lot. I think that's everything I have. Thank you.